If you're a YouTuber, you know that there are going to be lessons that you learn along the way, and these are 7 things that I wish I knew when I was a new YouTuber that might just be able to help you. The first of which is that you are entirely on your own when it comes to your channel. Nobody is going to help you grow. There are very, very, very few people in this industry who are come with me people, meaning when they see opportunities, they bring you along. Most people will just stay in their own lane. They're going to focus on what they're doing, they're going to take care of themselves, and they're not really going to help you to grow. So you can't depend on your friends and your family and the people around you to help grow your channel. In fact, most of those people aren't even going to be your right audience. You need to find people who are going to resonate with what you say and learn and grow from you. Your friends, your family, the people surrounding you probably are not those people. And oftentimes we want to turn to and rely on the people closest to us. We want them to be excited about the same things we're excited about. We want to share our journey with them, but for most of them, it's just not relevant. And practically speaking, we cannot depend on our friends and our family to constantly be the ones giving us views on our channel. And we've talked about it in other videos, but having friends and family get involved in our YouTube channel in terms of getting our watch time is actually detrimental to our channels. So make sure you check out those videos on that. But if you've got questions, go ahead and drop those down below. Just know, getting into this is a you project. Your YouTube channel is a you thing and not an everybody else thing. You're responsible for how it works. And depending on other people is just not going to serve your well-being or your mental health. I also wish that I knew the more that you posted, the faster you would grow. And that just seems like a common sense conversation. But in a world where we have so many voices just pushing that you need to go slowly, you need to do it in a way that you can stay consistent with it. You need to make sure you're not going beyond my level. It can be really hard to be able to do things at your own pace. Now, not everybody is a highly productive person. I am. I can put out a YouTube video every single day on multiple channels and not bat an eyelash. I'm a highly productive person, and not everybody is that same speed as I am. But you understand you. You know who you are and how you work and how you function and what you're going to be able to maintain. So if you slow what you're doing down just to adhere to what other people are saying you should do, or the level that those other people are maintaining, that doesn't mean it's going to serve you or your channel. The more content you can put out, the faster you're going to grow. So if people can find one video of yours, it's going to take a lot longer for you to gain traction than if they saw 10 videos of yours, right? So the more you can consistently put out, and again, that's the key. It does have to be consistent. You have to be able to maintain it. But the faster you can put content out, the faster you're going to grow, because every video gets you new viewers, new subscribers, more watch time. You're going to be able to elevate what you're doing faster if you have that maintained schedule and you can consistently be putting out as much content as you are going to be putting out. The more you do, the faster you will grow. You choose how quickly you're going to grow on this platform based on your input and your output into the content you are creating, again, with consistency and with quality. Another thing that I wish I knew was about the length of my videos. I've always been told that longer videos are going to be better, but they don't necessarily tell you why. And they don't necessarily tell you the sweet spots either, because you have a wide range of time availability on YouTube. You can do hour-long videos. You can do 7-minute videos. You can do 1 minute, 30-second videos. You can do whatever you need to do when it comes to the content you're creating, but knowing why and then having an informed decision on how you're creating your content is going to be really valuable. 8 minutes is what is required to have more ad space in your videos, meaning YouTube is allowed to run more ads on anything that's going to be over that 8-minute mark. So the more minutes you have in your video, the more ads they can run, and potentially, not always, but potentially that could mean more ads revenue for you when you get monetized. And having that longer form content also builds up your watch time. So if you can create content that is a little bit longer and you have a 10-minute video as opposed to a 5-minute video, that could potentially double your watch time if it's quality enough for people to stick around for the entire thing. Most people don't watch through all 100% of the videos that you're putting out. So the more time you have on a video that is quality content, not just fluff, not just like extra stuff you throw in there to have a longer video, but quality, educational, or entertaining content means more watch time, means you're going to get monetized faster. And when you are monetized, you can make more money off of that content. I wish I had known that 8 minutes was actually really important, because when I was talking to people, when I was learning, when I was being educated, a lot of people said 7 minutes is good, 15 minutes is good, 20, 25 minutes is where a lot of vloggers are, but they never really gave me that 8-minute staple. And so now when I'm creating my content, when I'm filming my videos, I'm watching my timestamp as I'm recording. And if I'm getting up toward that 7-8 minute mark, I make sure that I get it over it by adding in a couple of little extra nuggets. Or if I'm giving like a really good conversation where I'm educating on how to do something, I'll add in examples. So it's not fluff, but it is something people can learn from and something that I had not necessarily intended. So sometimes I'll add in an example of how to do this or how to use this after I've taught how to do it, just to kind of push it over that mark a little bit so I can get it up just a little bit higher and potentially make a little bit more money from people watching those videos. So knowing where you want to be for that sweet spot of your videos is really important. And depending on the type of content you're creating, that sweet spot is going to be different. You're going to hear a lot of different things, but you have to do the research for your industry, for your niche, and for the type of content you are creating in order to know what's going to work well and translate into better monetization for you. Now, one wildly underrated part of your YouTube channel is the community tab. Not everybody qualifies for the community tab. You do have to have over a certain number of subscribers. I'm not going to name it here because sometimes that changes. So make sure you are looking that up, but it's getting lower and lower all the time. And that community tab very much is something that you can kind of treat like a Facebook post, but like an elevated Facebook post. It is something you can also kind of treat like an Instagram story where you're giving a snapshot into your life in real time. The community tab is mostly text or photo based. So you have the opportunity to write just a text post. You can create a poll. You can create a photo poll. You can post photos, up to 5 per post. You can also use your videos or somebody else's videos and send them out in the community tab so people can go revisit older content or something that you need to highlight or someone that you need to highlight. The community tab really is kind of a community connection. So while you're filming your YouTube videos, you're a little bit removed from people, even though we're creating that parasocial relationship, even though we're having those conversations with people, even though they feel like you're following your life, you are not having that like direct conversational content with them until you get into the community tab. And most people just ignore the community tab. This thing shows up on desktop. It shows up on mobile as people are scrolling. It will pop up in the middle of scrolling through videos. It's a really good opportunity to reach out in a new way that not a lot of people are using on the platform. Everybody's doing video content, but this is something they can very easily glance at, interact with, and move on to still have those touchstone moments with you without having to spend 8 minutes, 20 minutes watching your video to have that conversation then in your comment section. So utilizing the community tab is really helpful. And the more you can lean into it and the more distinct you can make your community tab. So whether you're treating it like, here's some things that you missed, or having those conversations where you're getting information and asking for opinions and polling their concerns, or you are treating it like snapshot of my life, this is the Instagram stories, but cooler kind of thing. The more you define that, the better it's going to work for you. And speaking of different aspects that YouTube gives us to create connection with our community, the membership tab is also really valuable to you. Memberships are where people can pay a certain amount, a very low amount, every single month as a subscription and then get exclusive access to different types of content or to you in some way, shape, or form. You can create different levels. You can offer different offerings to your members and your subscribers. And there's a lot of really cool things that you can do with it. But what they don't tell you is that it is really hard if you are an educational YouTube page where you're teaching like tutorials and button for button, click for click kind of things, where you're guiding people on a process to get people to join your membership if you do not have that personal connection with them. If you are there to educate and you have not brought in a lot of your personal life, they don't have that parasocial relationship with you, they're probably not going to go with your subscription because they can get that anywhere else. They can get them from courses. If you're just like teaching educational content inside of your membership, they can get that in other places. And so memberships as a content creator who does educational content can be very difficult if you have not developed that parasocial relationship where they are here to find out how your week went, when they are here to find out what's going on with your puppy dog, when they are here to see your life in some way, shape, or form. If people are just showing up for the information and not for you, having a membership on your page is really freaking hard. And so you need to start infusing more of your personality and more of your personal life into the content you're creating. In fact, this is something I'm dealing with right now because I do a lot of really great tutorials, but I really strongly focus on the educational side, and I don't really give you a ton of information about me. You don't really see my puppy dogs all the time. You don't really travel with me very much. People don't necessarily opt into my memberships here on YouTube because they don't have that magnetic pull to me, because they don't feel like they're responsible for me in any way, shape, or form, because they don't feel like they're invested in me personally, just in what they can benefit from learning from my education. And so you're going to start to see me changing up my content a little bit. I am starting to change how I do things because on YouTube, I'm very professional about things, but on TikTok and on Instagram, I'm very personal with these things. I'm going to start to infuse a little bit more of that into my YouTube channel to test it, to see how this goes, so I can see if I get more people showing up for my videos every single day instead of when they're searching for that answer. Because right now, my videos do exceptionally well when people are searching for answers. I get hundreds upon thousands of video views on things where people are coming to look for an answer, but on things that are a little bit more everyday for me, I don't get as many people showing up. So we're going to test it out. We're going to see how that works, and that definitely impacts your membership. So start infusing personal life things into that content to form those parasocial relationships, to get people drawn in, not only to view your content every time you post, but also to do your memberships and things like that. Something they also don't talk about is the plateaus you are going to hit with your subscriber numbers. We know that as we are building up our channels, we are getting new subscribers all the time. Every time we put out a video, that's potential for new subscribers to come in. But like with most social platforms, we just don't talk about how we hit certain plateaus of numbers. You will get to a certain number of subscribers, and then it's going to stay there for a really long time. It's going to feel like it's only inching up just a tiny bit. It's really hard to get to that next level. So you're going to hit a level, and then it's going to go really slow for a while. And then you're going to hit another level. It's going to go fast. And then you're going to hit that wall again. It's going to be a long period of you stopping and waiting and just trying to get people to subscribe. So those subscriber plateaus are very, very real. Most channels are going to go through them. When we pay attention to them, you can kind of see some of the relative numbers. Like there are certain points where we can pretty much infer a channel is going to hit a plateau with that. And it can feel like weeks or months or even longer being at one level before you jump up very quickly to the next. It's a very weird process, but we see it again and again and again with most YouTube channels, most TikTok channels, most Instagram channels, because it's just a very weird way that the algorithm works. So when things hit a wall and slow down, do not be discouraged. It's just that slow little process until you get to the big jump, and then you're going to hit that slow process again. It's cyclical, it's weird, it's not fun to go through, but knowing that it exists and knowing that most people are going to go through it can definitely help with the mental health side of this, because it is such a process. Now, there are a lot of other things that we can talk about when it comes to YouTube channels, things that I wish that I knew that I could have implemented when I was younger. I'm actually going to be doing a video with things that are on YouTube now that did not exist when I started my YouTube channel, like features and functionalities that they've given us over the years that were not here when I started, that you can use right now to help grow your channel if you are a newer channel especially, or you can leverage and lean into if you're an established channel as well. So drop your ideas on what you want to see for learning on YouTube, on how to grow on YouTube, on how to change what's happening in your YouTube channel to be more successful, and follow along as I'm doing some really cool things on my channel as well. We've got daily videos helping you navigate the world of YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, live streaming, and the tools and resources you need to save time and effort creating your social content. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.